Good evening, guys. This is Rick with 45 News Utah with the last news update for the night. I'm going to be doing Utah news first, and here goes. Let's dive right in. Okay, Utah Highway Patrol will be looking for distracted drivers now till Monday. So if you're distracted on the road, you're eating and playing with your cell phone, be really careful because this is the time they're going to be looking for you. Now they're going to use unmarked cars and marked Highway Patrol cars with overtime shifts. So these people they're going to be out looking, mainly Salt Lake, Utah County, but it will extend through southern Utah. I'm pretty sure about that, but distracted driving is never a good thing. So just try not to be distracted, guys. Utah jobless claims jumped 20% for the last 2 weeks in a row. That's not a good thing. We don't need jobless claims. Okay, 483 COVID cases, 10 deaths reported today. The Navajo Nation wants the Bears Ears Monument fully restored. So my opinion is we should just give it back to Navajo Nation, the Shoshones and the Utes. But anyway, okay, still requiring masks after the 10th. So that's when the mask mandate ends in the state of Utah. These are the places that's still going to have a mask mandate. Just so you guys all get a better idea on this. Salt Lake City, stay in masks are mandated there. Gonna stay there. Grand County, they've opted to keep the mask mandate going indefinitely until the numbers drop. They need to drop below a certain point. When they see that for so many consecutive days, they'll drop their mask mandate. But until then, they're not dropping it in Grand County. Federal, state, and county buildings are all still going to require masks. Schools K through 12, same thing, going to require masks there. Public transportation. If you take public transportation, you will be required to wear a mask until further notice. Grocery stores. Some grocery stores are opting to keep the mask mandate in. It just depends on what grocery store you go to and what their opinion is. Healthcare providers, IHC, definitely all their buildings, everything's going to still be mask mandated no matter what there. And Target, Walmart, they're definitely on board with the mask mandate, still going to stay in effect in their private properties. And the ski resorts in Utah are going to keep the mask mandate on until further notice. Okay, done with the Utah news. Now let's get on to the national news. Okay. So David Chapman was appointed as the director of the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. So the Justice Department will be pushing new regulations. They're gonna push new ones. He worked for he was a senior advisor for the Gifford Foundation or organization that advocated a lot of gun control. Just telling you, this guy does like gun control. Biden's comments calling Putin a killer has moved 28,000 Russian troops to the border of Ukraine. Not a good idea. Just saying. You don't want to call a leader of another nation that's a nuclear armed nation a killer. Not a good move by Putin when he did, or by Biden when he said that to Putin the other day. Okay. So also announced May 1st, May 1st, it looks like 125 million will be going for military aid. Yeah, they're going to be, the Biden administration is going to be aiding the Ukrainian military is what it is. And Russia is developing some very, very high-tech weapons. Just saying. They're getting some major advancements. Okay, now on to COVID. I'm just saying, I have to do this. Okay, no hat tonight. Sorry, guys. Going to total hippie on you. And we'll just get into COVID right now. Brazil, top 4,000 deaths in a single day. That was, I believe, Wednesday. No, it was Tuesday. Huge death toll in Brazil. Just a mess down there. Let's see. Anyway, Brazil, their healthcare and their intensive care units are just falling apart. They don't have the medical means to handle this massive outbreak down there. Just a mess in Brazil. Okay, total global COVID cases. Let's see, and COVID-borne illnesses rose to 133 million today. There you go. Death toll is close to 3 million, and that's globally. India and Brazil are the real flashpoints with the rising death tolls and the concern of the spread of the more infectious and deadly, which was announced by Fauci, of the variants, which is the UK, the Brazilian variants, the South African variants. Now, the India variant has not been figured into the equation. Let's hope that thing does not come too soon. Just saying. It's a double variant inside, there's a double mutation inside one variant. So, Brazil has the P1 variant right now, and now it's dealing with the South African variant at the same time. So that's causing a kind of a storm where the two variants are clashing together in Brazil. The U.S. already has all these variants running through it. So Brazil is the second highest case numbers following America. So America's the highest case numbers, just saying. The biggest city is adding 600 graves per day to keep up with the death toll that's happening in Brazil's major cities. That's a lot of people. 4,200, I think it was announced. 4,200 people died of COVID in one day in Brazil. There's 200,000 people in Brazil. It's a big country. So much like the U.S., they're in 20 million here, and they have 220 million there. So India has the third highest case count and the fourth highest death toll. So India's not falling very far behind. They're dealing with the UK variant right now. They do have this mutation. I believe they have a couple other variants running through, but India is a real flashpoint. Definitely. Same with Brazil. They're two huge flashpoints with the current COVID mutations and variants they're flowing through their countries, and they're slow on the vaccines. There are a lot of holdups in the vaccinations, a lot of problems. Getting the vaccine doses out to the population. So that's where we're seeing such a high rate of infections. So anyway, and it was announced today that they're saying that the vaccines are pretty effective against the UK, South African, and the Brazilian strains. So the India strain variant and the mutations, no one really knows yet. That one's going to be the big one. That's going to be the big question mark for all of us. Okay, Italy and Spain made a decision that the AstraZeneca vaccine was more beneficial than it was deadly, and basically that the risk is too high. They have to get the population vaccinated before it's too late. They need to slow the spread in Italy and Spain right now, because apparently they're seeing a pretty big uptick in that sense. So that's the big stories on the COVID. The Utah stuff, remember, masks are going to be off on the 10th, pushing towards it fast. And hopefully it's a good move. I would really hope so. We could probably look and see if there's anything actually interesting going on. I think NBC, I didn't check. I had to set through CNN. Ugh, tell you what, that's a really hard one to deal with. I couldn't even report on hardly anything coming out of CNN. These guys are weird, man. I'll tell you, they're not doing good on YouTube. YouTube's just kind of that end of it's falling apart. Oh, I could bring up a lot of stuff that Tucker Carlson brought up, which is pretty cool. But anything really, Amazon appears to stave off unionization in major test vote in Alabama warehouse. Huh. Okay. Yeah, see, it's just, just the same stuff. Racism, blah, blah, dumb stuff. I don't know. Nothing real big going on. I'd really worry more about the border and the drugs and stuff like that happening. That's pretty much, and that 9 or 10,000 people cross the border every single day. That's what I would probably focus my news organization on, which I should focus more on, because actually that's a huge number of people, and you got to remember that these are human beings. And I watched a sickening video of a little boy crying because he was left behind by a party of people he traveled here with, and the Border Patrol agent picked him up, and it pulled at my heartstrings, because I have kids, and just to see that kid just scared out of his mind was just dumb. Biden is responsible for this. They said free stuff, border open. He caused people to take a 3,000-mile journey where many died. Okay, just telling you, just straight out to you guys. The rhetoric, the bull crap they talked about through the campaign and through all this, it has a human cost to it. It doesn't upset somebody that watched, somebody saying something from the other political party. Oh, that tweet makes me mad. I'm going to get on here and that has nothing to do with it. These are actual human beings that are making a 3,000-mile journey, raped, brutalized, and murdered on the way here. I don't know if anybody doesn't get that. I don't know. Not to mention the massive flow of people coming in here that you're going to support, that are going to be competing for your jobs, that are going to be subsidized, and they're going to have a lot of kids. And these kids are going to have PTSD. These people are going to have post-traumatic stress disorder from what they went through. Brazil's falling apart right now. This is just falling apart due to COVID. You know, Venezuela is a disaster financially. It's been a wreck since we blockaded them and their money fell to garbage. And these people are running and fleeing. The main key is to stop causing, you know, financial destruction in Venezuela. Stop doing stuff to Central and South America. Stop, you know, going in there and screwing up these countries. They're losing their entire youth, or a great portion of them. Your youth is everything for the future of your country. If you allow them to exit your country, what do you have left? You have a bunch of old people that are just going to be killing over eventually, and no one's going to change. You can't cause the exit of a third of your population and expect to have a country when you're done with this. You're stealing the business of the future. You're stealing the people that will bring revenue and that will change things and make a better country. For, you know, people that are all for immigration, you have to think about this. The lives lost to get here, the open border policies, the loss of entire generations, not through death and war or disease, but through immigration. Ireland still never recovered. Well, recently they've recovered from the potato famine that half the population of Ireland immigrated to the United States. I mean, that stole their resources. The U.S. took those people and Manifest Destiny conquered the entire United States from coast to coast using the Irish. You know, so we got to think about this. Think of the human element of this. Immigration is a good thing if it's under control. So many immigrants a year. That way it doesn't displace workers. That way you don't see a massive problem with the pay scales, and we don't see a burden on our social systems, because Americans need this stuff. Americans have, I mean, I don't make a lot of money. Somebody could replace my job tomorrow. People got to think about that. What's going to happen? We jump by 20% on our jobless rates. What's going to happen when 500,000 people come into Utah? This is what the future is with open borders. Biden's saying he's closing the border. Now they're talking about even blocking the border, filling in the holes that they stopped building. They're building a fence again. They're talking about it. We have to really put that in perspective. Because if you don't think that 10,000 people into Cedar City is going to make a difference, you got nothing coming. You know, if you're up in a small town, you're going to change the vote. It's going to completely change by non-Americans. If they're able to vote, areas are going to go completely blue. And that's not fair to, just like Tucker Carlson talked about, it's not fair to the population. If you just move in a ton of people, we're talking 10,000 people a day, and this is the very, very beginning. That's who they're catching, or they know of crossing the border. There's 3 times that many coming through. 3 times, just insane. So it burdens the social systems. Who's going to pay for all this stuff? We have our own people that are in trouble. People don't have dental. A lot of people can't even afford medical help, and we're going to give it to everybody free across the border. Everybody free. That's not America. America is you come here and you prove you want to come here and you go through the system. But what's happening now is killing people. It's not a joke. This mass immigration is not a joke. You're using people by promising them this great land at the burden of everybody else. You're giving them to come up here, just get across the border, throw the kid over the fence. Oh, he's an American now. This needs to stop. This needs to stop. Okay? It's got to end. That's my opinion of 45 News Utah. If you have a different opinion, please share it with me. Because realistically, your opinion isn't worth one person's life. It isn't. If people die on their way here, if you're promoting that type of behavior, these people are not dying from, they got in an accident on a car or they're flying in an airplane. No, these people are being murdered and left to die in the desert. Think about that. Just think about that for a minute. What would it be like to travel 3,000 miles, part of the way on foot, through gangs and drugs, human traffickers, and what's happening to the children and the women? Is there anybody reporting on the disaster that's happening when people are being found in the desert? You know, that are just died of dehydration, or how many kids are being left alone to die in the cold and the dark out there in the deserts? No one's reporting on it. Anyway, I have to bring up the facts. These are the facts. Hope you guys enjoy. I'm out for tonight. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.